You gotta peep the Raptors. I gotta put on this. I guess I gotta put on this headset. Yeah. Um, I'm working with a couple screens as I did the last time, and directly in front of me, I've got my desktop computer, and that one has the live scores from the Raptors game. Nice, looking good. Anyways, friends, if you guys could kindly hit me a WhatsApp there, let me know that you can hear me. That'd be great. Natasha, hello, how you doing? Antonio, we've got Perry, we've got Tiny Whiny. Thanks so much, Tiny Whiny. Thanks for confirming that, Perry. Blessed, Luna, Helena, Kimberly, Johan, Chuck, Chris, Windsor, eh? I've been to Windsor a couple times. Usually it involves casino. Kim, Morby, I'm doing good, man. Well, guys, we're gonna get jumping on the actual program as we usually do. Perry down out of Toronto. Yo, Toronto, we've got that game going on right now, as I was saying earlier there. Computer in front of me, the one, well, the back of this one that I'm using has the scores going. Pastor David, how you doing? Gaza Hamilton in the house, eh? Nice, loving it. Um, Antonio, appreciate the follow on Instagram, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not following me yet, you're lapsing. It is Caribbean Pot on Instagram. All kind of nice and then happening on there as well. Um, I don't even know how I should pronounce your name. DC Kill. Yo, what's up, man? Appreciate that. Cheryl Carter. Yeah, so we've got typically the same sort of format. So it is called Recipe Chit Chat, which means we're going to discuss. And this week we're fortunate there were two recipes posted. One was that sort of improvised. Guys, I will get back to your comments shortly. I just want to go through the agenda for today, and then we will open up the floor as we usually do. If anyone is having problems with hearing me, let me know and I can crank up the volume just a little bit more. Um, Recipe Chit Chat is basically our sort of hangout every Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. If you're new to, if you're stumbling across this, guys, please subscribe. I don't know where the subscribe thing is. YouTube is always moving it around, but lots of niceness to share with you all. Two recipes this week. They were the improvised stewed lentils, and I think yesterday I posted a quick pepper sauce that I made. And there was some confusion with that. When I used the word sauce, non-Caribbean people were thinking it was like an actual sauce, like a dipping sauce or something. Pepper sauce is basically what we call hot sauce for most other people, what they would call hot sauce. So don't get tired. This is very fiery. It is very hot, and it can cause issues later on as well. So be mindful when I say pepper sauce or when a Caribbean person say hot sauce, pepper sauce. That's what they mean. So I'm gonna jump with the two. Oh, the winner. I did get the winner last week. Bakes did contact me. Her book is out to her, so I'm glad to see that we did find the winner, and the book is on the way to England for her. Now, I did come across something I need to address a little bit, and that is after I made the announcement here. The person who won the book, I had a gentleman email me and said, "Well, I am the winner. Send the book to me." Well, I know for a fact that I was already in contact with the real winner. So please, if you're trying to scam and stuff like that, nobody really have time for that nonsense. You know what I mean? Honesty is golden. Try and practice it a little bit. The first recipe, the today we have two giveaways as well as usual. Um, and we have to announce the two winners of last week's giveaway, the electric pepper mill. So I have Yeah, we've got the names there. I don't know. You guys can't read that yet. Hold yourself. First recipe, the non-traditional or stewed lentils, and I want to really enforce that that recipe was not a traditional way we would stew lentils in the Caribbean. One, it was supposed to be quick, and this is why you would have seen me use canned lentils. Two, the stewed tomatoes that I put into it is totally different. It is my little take on it. As I said in the recipe when I did the recipe a couple weeks ago, I was jonesing for stewed lentils, and this was a quick something. In under 25 minutes or something, I had stewed lentils. Typically in the Caribbean, how we would rock it is we would take dried lentils and cook it from scratch. I use canned in this case here, so be mindful of that. Um, the other thing is someone had asked about why did I use a bit of brown sugar in the recipes? Because I know that the stewed tomatoes, the canned stewed tomatoes, would have a sort of tartness to it. I wanted to balance things off, thus using a tablespoon of brown sugar in there. Again, my take on things, if you don't want to put the brown sugar, you're cool with that as well. The browning, yes, while browning is made out of sugar, be mindful it does not necessarily sweeten a dish. It is more about flavor and color because that's the sort of issue someone had. Getting a lot of glaring from the glasses, yo, and I'm blind now. Boy, you can't win, no. So be mindful of that. The browning that I used would not necessarily sweeten the dish. And the other sort of question I had is, in as a replacement for pumpkin, I mean, they say you can use pumpkin, any type of pumpkin you have, any sort of type of squash you have, you can put it in there. You can leave it out too. All it's totally up to you. But you can go in with carrots if you have carrots. Carrots is a great replacement for that. So those were the only two sort of or three issues we had with the stewed lentils. Now, in the pepper sauce video that I did, and it would have been a sort of a redo of an older recipe I did quite a while ago. It's only because I polled you all on my boy is asking an interesting question there. Can you hang on to that question and ask me again when I open up the mic just now? I'm peeping at some of the questions here. So please, I'd love to address that question that you have, but let's stick to the sort of agenda here. Um, I guess what we should do now is announce the two winners for last week's giveaway, the pepper mill, and it's sitting in the back down there somewhere. I ain't trying to turn around and do all kind of nonsense. And next thing I capside on the floor live live on YouTube. I ain't trying to embarrass myself like that. But the two winners are winner one, and I don't know which color you're gonna get. I think there's a green and there's a blue. I'm not sure. Tashell Clark, so TashellClarke. Tashell Clark, you won one of those pepper mills. You have until, I believe the last time I gave bakes until Sunday. So Sunday at noon Eastern time. If I don't hear from you, contact me at Chris at caribbeanpot.com or go to caribbeanpot.com. Use the contact link. Get in contact with me. Let me know you're the winner. And I'll need your mailing address to have that mailed out to you. If we don't hear from you by noon Eastern on Sunday, we're just going to move on to another person. We're just going to randomly choose another person. And just to make things fair, we really can't be waiting here for people to get back to us. Um, Kim, Kim is asking who gets to eat my food. Well, my daughters. That's about it. Myself and my daughters. The odd time my parents visit. My neighbors are all retired, and they don't mess with the stuff that I usually make. They're Canadians. Let's just say that. From time to time, friends may pass over and stuff like that. Winner number 2 for the second electric pepper mill, Sheldon Jordan out of Toronto. So SHELDENEJORDAN. Mr. Jordan, please, and I'm hoping it is a guy's name. Oh boy, I shouldn't say Mr. Sheldon, please contact me. Again, Chris at caribbeanpot.com or via caribbeanpot.com. The contact link will be at the top. Let me know that I announced your name here as a winner for that pepper mill. Include your mailing address, and I will have that shipped out to you. But you have until Sunday noon Eastern to get back to me before we move on to someone else. I have the two new giveaways sitting there, but we're gonna hold on for a second. I wanted to share. There was quite a bit of questions coming out of that pepper sauce recipe that I did, and I want you guys to understand something, that it was as basic a pepper sauce that I've ever made. And this is my go-to one. Keep in mind, I have about just bear with me for 1 second here. For some reason, I'm not getting all the somebody saying my tooth there. Yeah, I'm glad for you. There are about 10 different pepper sauce recipes, hot sauce recipes on caribbeanpot.com. And I use a whole bunch of different things on there, different methods of doing and stuff like that. But this one that I shared with you yesterday, raw, basic, 5 ingredients in under 2 minutes, and I had that thing done, ready to just bottle and enjoy. So my tips when it comes to making pepper sauce: one, you really want to wash those peppers. Well, before we get to those things, if I would recommend wearing gloves. First of all, wear gloves, and immediately after you handle these peppers and you're done making that pepper sauce, wash your hand really well with soap and water. I can see someone going through my house there. All right. Wash your hands really, really well after everything is said and done. You don't want to rub your eyes. You don't want to. Trust me. First tip: wash the peppers really well. I have seen how these peppers are grown firsthand, and I can tell you a lot of insecticide and all that stuff like that is used on these peppers. If you're growing them yourself, still wash them, even though you're not using all those insecticides and stuff like that. Really wash them well and allow them to dry. We don't want water getting into the pepper sauce. As if we could avoid that, let's avoid that. Two, you guys would have seen in my gardening video. I usually share the gardening video every year. It's springtime now, so I'm hoping to get into the backyard and do some gardening. If you guys can hit a thumbs up, by the way, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that thumbs up. There we go. Looking good. I grew a variety of peppers because I know from some of them I get extreme heat, some of them I get unique flavors, and some of them I get sort of fruity tones and stuff like that from. Try when you're making a pepper sauce, if you can get a variety of peppers together and to make your sauce, I would highly recommend that. The outcome is really, really nice. The third tip is add fruits. I love adding fruits in my pepper sauce. So you would have seen me use from pineapple to oranges to blackberries, blueberries. I'm doing something pretty unique this spring with fresh strawberries. I know a guy not too far from here, well, maybe about half an hour drive. He has a strawberry farm, and I'm gonna go out there and borrow some strawberries to do something. But there will be smoke involved as well. So smoke and strawberries and Scotch bonnet peppers, the combination is just begging for trouble, boy. So try to mix it up a little bit with different flavors, like the berries and the fruits and stuff like that. Always a good idea. Keep it simple. Don't overdo it. So like in the last recipe I shared there were 5 ingredients. There were the pepper, the salt, cilantro, garlic, and vinegar. I could easily toss in some pineapple in there, make that 6 ingredients, and your boy good to go. So try to keep it as simple as you can. Once you start getting too technical, you end up with too many flavors and stuff like that, and then things is just whack, man. You can never really replicate it as well later on. If you can, don't refrigerate the pepper sauce when you're done. And I am not a huge fan of cooking pepper sauce because I like the sort of raw method. Um, and that's another tip I'm going to share later down how to the sort of preservative I use. But try not to refrigerate it. I find that once you refrigerate a pepper sauce or a hot sauce, the heat level sort of goes down a bit. So be mindful of that. If you don't have to, um, don't refrigerate it. Once you make your pepper sauce, it's important that the container that you're putting it into is clean and dry. So, um, best case scenario, run it through your dishwasher or something, or pour hot water over it and then allow it to air dry. Make sure it's dry before you empty your prepared pepper sauce in there. As far as storage goes, I like to leave it in a sort of a dark corner in my kitchen, so in the cupboard away from the direct sunlight. Now, that is contrary to how I would see my mom, my uncle, real pepper sauce people do theirs. They would normally make their. What's going on in there, boy? Oh, that's my daughter, Kiana. Let's see her over here. Some wickedness she's up to. But I remember when my uncle or my mom or anybody down in the Caribbean would make it, they would put it in direct sun. And I think part of that was to help cure the peppers. I don't know if it necessarily did anything else, but according to them, um, that was their way of doing things. I'm not a huge fan of that, to be honest with you. I like it in the dark because I find it less chance of it developing a sort of a mold on the top. Sometimes you may see that mold, that sort of frothy mold fermentation thing that happens. I try to avoid that. If it's too hot, so let's say you make a pepper sauce, yeah, you can use peppers which are too hot. No two peppers are ever the same. Trust me, it could be from the same variety of family, the same pepper tree, and for some reason those two peppers will never be the same sort of heat level. What I would usually do is add a carrot to it, a carrot or two carrots to it, into the blender, into the pepper sauce. It will help brighten it up as far as the color goes, a nice orange color, and it will help tone it down the heat level. So keep that in mind as well. Salt. So I think we're up to about tip number 8 now. It's important you add salt to it. I know a lot of us, we can't handle the salt anymore, and I don't recommend using too much salt. High blood pressure is a killer in the Caribbean, well, globally. So let's be mindful of that salt. But add a little bit of salt to that pepper sauce. You wouldn't believe how big difference that makes. Um, I'm not a huge fan of mustard in pepper sauce either. So you will hardly ever see me making a pepper sauce with mustard in there. I just find mustard should be mustard, pepper sauce should be pepper sauce. You know what I mean? Nobody ain't trying to get no kind of Douglas pepper sauce going on here, all mix up thing. I know. Um, I love using plain vinegar as my preservative. So, as I said, I love raw pepper sauce. So, I put all my raw stuff in the blender, and the liquid I would use is vinegar, and that works for me. It's always worked for me. My mom is a huge fan of lime juice or lemon juice. And I get a lot of questions from people asking about the different types of vinegars out there. Can they use it? If you are a fan of apple cider vinegar, if you are a fan of any of the other types of vinegar, red wine vinegar, do your thing. I'm not a huge fan of those. I don't like the taste it gives to the pepper sauce because it influences the overall taste of it. So please, I would recommend keeping it simple. Um, oh, STL Bakes, our last week's winner. STL Bakes, your package is on the way. I got your email. I just didn't have time to respond to you personally, but I got 2 emails from you. Um, Tomato ketchup. Are we talking about making tomato ketchup or tomato ketchup in pepper sauce? That is interesting. We'll talk about that soon. Um, a preservative. So yeah, use whatever vinegar you like. I'm cool with that. As far as controlling the heat, and this is my final tip here, you would see me every time I use Scotch bonnet, what I call Caribbean sunshine, and the name has stuck now because a lot of people call it Caribbean sunshine now. But if you're trying to control the heat, you would see I would usually cut the pepper and I'll show you the seeds. And there's a sort of a white membrane. I wish I had a pepper here. I don't. There's a white membrane that surrounds the seed. That's where most of that intense heat is going to be. So if you want, you can seed the pepper, toss out the seeds or plant the seeds, whatever you need to do, and use the peppers without the seed. You would find that the heat level is not as intense as if you were to use the seeds. And speaking about seeds, if you guys plan on planting Scotch bonnet peppers or any type of peppers, and you live in North America, especially the colder provinces, well, all the provinces are cold, and states, excuse me, you want to start it a few months in advance. It takes forever for those things to germinate and grow and stuff like that. If you're thinking about doing it now, you may be too late, unfortunately. So those were my about 11, 12 tips or something in regards to pepper sauce. I will. Heather Clark, are you from Barbados by chance? I was in Barbados and I noticed you guys use, well, not you guys, I don't know if you are, but my Bajan brethren and them and sisters, they love turmeric as well as mustard. I love turmeric in there. It gives it a unique flavor. It sort of calms down the heat as well. But personally, like I said, 5 ingredients is all I usually do for the pepper sauce. There's one sitting on the counter right now. And all of my daughters, they all eat pepper sauce. I cook with it. No, I don't cook with pepper sauce, but we do have it as a side condiment. Funny story. My daughters went out with my oldest one went out with her boyfriend at the time, and they went out for chicken wings, buffalo wings. And there was a competition who can eat the hottest wings. So there's my little tiny little daughter, small frame. Um, and she's eating man for man, as my mom would say, with all these guys. And they were crying, tears coming down their face, and fanning and drinking water and asking for milk and all these things. And there is Kiana just eating those wings. So they were like, they couldn't believe, well, this little small frame girl could out eat them when it came to these extreme wings. And it's only because she told them after, listen, this stuff is like candy for me. The pepper sauce my dad makes at home and we eat is way more hot than this vinegar something you guys have us eating here, you know? Yeah, there. Everyone is different. And no, I'm just saying, I've Dare Jones is saying that her family or his family stores their pepper sauce in the refrigerator. That's cool. And most of them, if you buy it, it always says after opening, put in the fridge and stuff like that. All I'm saying is that you will find a difference in the heat level from being on the countertop versus if it's been sitting in the fridge. Now, what's going on in there now, man? There's another one. You guys watch right here. Ah, boy. Tonight's giveaway, guys. Let's get to the giveaways. Then we're going to open up the floor here. We've got Antigua in the house. Giveaway number 1. And this is, let's see, 175 pages, 100 delicious recipes from Cuisine et Vin de France. Gosh, your boy, parlez-vous français there? It's a wonderful book. Great for the summertime. I'm seeing some nice dishes in here. Wow, some nice salads and stuff like that. So, giveaway number 1, you've got to leave a comment here. Leave a comment. Your name will be automatically entered for that. The draw will be held. I will announce the winner next week, as I did earlier. If you guys missed it, we're looking for Tashelle Clark. You're a winner of one of the pepper mills, and Sheldon Jordan out of Toronto. You're also a winner of one of those pepper mills. Giveaway number 2, brunch. We're at the store, the world's best brunches. We're at the store, and the lady helping me, I had 4 cookbooks. I bought 2 for myself and 2 to give away here. And the lady helping me, she's like, "Oh, brunch. I always like brunch. When can we come over?" So I was like, "Oh, okay. You really want the answer I'm gonna give to you? Because it may not only include brunch, you know." All right. Anyways, um, the world's best brunch, where to find them, and how to make them as well. So another gorgeous book here, and I ain't picking up no nonsense for to give away just for giving away sakes. You know what I mean? I want you guys to be able to do a thing or two with these. Oh, look at that! My down south people, shrimp and grits. There's a low carb grits in here. Um, there's a full English breakfast. Where then? Eggs Benedict. That's one of my daughter's weakness right there. My daughter and my sister, they're very much alike. They love their eggs Benedict. So giveaway number one, brunch. Giveaway number two, we've got easy cooking here, 100 recipes. Guys, for some reason I lost my feed there. I mentioned to you all earlier. I am paying attention to the Raptors. We gotta take care of Cleveland and that bald head fella. Yeah. I can't see the score. So if someone can, if you anyone here watching is paying attention to the score in the basketball game, if you guys could leave me a comment, that'd be greatly appreciated. Now, if Toronto is losing, don't put the score. I don't want to know. Now we're gonna open up the floor. So if you have a question that may have missed earlier, Kim, I'm in the same boat with you, man. Kim is saying she'd prefer to eat dirt than grits. I'm not a huge fan of grits either. Hold on. I gotta wipe my eyes, man. That's too funny. Um, AK Francis, any Trini style mango chutney recipe from you on the website? I got you. There's a mango chutney on there, and there's a cucumber chutney on there. Um, Interesting questions. Raptor 6361. Thanks a lot there, Mohammed. Really appreciate that. Someone just asked, and I don't know if you guys have any experience with this, but someone just asked, why does the browning that he or she purchases from Grace, I can't remember who the person was, why does it tend to harden up in the bottle? I think I know in my case personally, I don't use it as much. I love making my own browning, so when it's above the stove there in that cupboard, it stays there a long time before getting used. So I have a hard time opening it. It doesn't go hard on me, so I really can't see. It does go hard with me. Uh, Kimberly's also saying no grits as well. The other thing is, because I store it above the stove and the heat that rises, I think I'm storing it in the wrong place. Maybe one of these days I'll do one of these videos on where and how to store your ingredients, because I see these questions coming up, or these sort of things coming up quite often. To be honest with you, I don't know why. Maybe it's where we store it. If you don't mind asking, if you could tell me where you store it, maybe that could be the part of the issue. Pick me, please. Yeah, Bakes. It should be for an interesting topic. Let me see here. I want to ask, what is browning? Browning. Pastor David is asking. What is browning? Browning is pretty much sugar that has caramelized and we bring back into a liquid form, and it has that deep, rich brown amber color that we add to a lot of our stews and stuff like that to give it color. Um, some of them can be flavored as well, so you want to pay attention to that. Some people add flavorings to them. Morcano is saying that when the steam gets into the brown and it gets hard. I'm not sure how to. Oh, I see. So when you pour it, so maybe you need to pour away from the dish. Then, so you pour it into a spoon, and let that spoon go over the pot. Because I'm guessing. We see a cute chick too in the house. That's my daughters that's walking by there, Kim. And maybe my little cousin is visiting. I'm not sure. There's always people in and out of this house, man. Um, Michelle is saying that she stores hers in the cupboard and it goes thick. That's just the nature of browning. It goes hard. Um, but again, I make my own. So, yeah, David, it is like a caramel, but very, very, very dark. It will not taste like caramel either. A quick recipes for pigeon peas and rice. There are two versions on the website. One in a rice cooker. That one is very interesting. Load it in there, leave it, forget it, come back, eat. Simple. The second one I did with dried pigeon peas or dried canned pigeon peas. I can't remember, but there are two versions of it on the website. Um, oh, there we go, guys. London Griffin is saying store your browning in the fridge and it remains perfect. So there you go. Any red snapper recipes? There are two red snapper recipes on the website. One escabeche, one grilled. And there are a couple. Who's in the fridge now? See right here. There's one coming up in July's month of grilling. Got that for you guys coming up soon. Potato pudding with sweet potatoes and peppers. I am supposed to be going Grenada later in the year, and there are a few recipes I want to get specifically from Grenada, cooked by a Grenadian. One, because I take licks the last time I made and I spoke about this before. Um, Breadfruit, oil down. And two, the pudding. And there was another one too. I think in Grenada, I was told that, well, some people who has visited Grenada, they had some of the best crab backs ever in Grenada. So your boy is going on a culinary trip just now. Don't worry. Stewed turkey. Yeah, man, that's always good, man. I'm sure the kitchen smells wicked. Um, as far as opening a restaurant, lately I've been tossing up the idea quite a bit, but I don't know. And I think I may have mentioned this to you guys. I've had several offers from all over the world. The last one came from Dubai, I think it was, where they wanted me to come out there and consult on a restaurant, but it means tying me down, so I don't know. I don't know yet. And then once I do open my restaurant, it's going to be so unique and everything else that it's going to take a lot of planning. I just dislike, and we spoke about this on Facebook. If you go to chrisdelarosa.com, we did a chat a while back about things we dislike about Caribbean restaurants, and I want to make sure I cover all those bases as well. If I can cover it, I don't want to open up something, and as we see in the Southern Caribbean, I don't want it to be Vikey Vi. I want it to be on point because at the end of the day, and this is why I hope you guys can see that as well. Everything I put forward here on the internet, I try to do it. You know, my mom said, put your best foot forward because at the end of the day, I'm not only representing myself or my daughters or my mom, my dad, my sisters, and my family. I'm representing the entire region. When the world thinks about Caribbean food, for the most part, they come to me, my website, my YouTube channel, and the other people who are doing it as well. I'm not trying to take all the credit for it, but I always like to do things the right way. So a restaurant, maybe. Um, Alicia, there is a lot to be to show Canadians what Caribbean food is all about. Yeah, I definitely agree. Good night, Kristen. I appreciate you stopping by tonight. Yeah, it is getting kind of 7:36. Friends, remember to hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it when you all do. Um, Someone is saying that my dishes are not paired with anything. Can you show us what these dishes could be paired with? Now, here's the thing. I get two sort of complaints all the time. Why don't I um present the dish, and why don't I pair the dish? Here's the thing about this. This is not your ordinary, and I think it's because we got TV stations like the Food Network and the Cooking Channel and all that, that does three things and they put it together on a plate, which can be presented. When I'm sharing a recipe, it is one thing. It does not necessarily mean I'm going to eat that thing that day. It may go into the fridge or something. Keep in mind, most of what I cook or what we cook in the Caribbean is usually paired with a starch or something of some sort. So it would be rice, it could be ground provisions, it could be potato, it could be a pasta, for instance. So while it would be nice to see what it's paired with, I want you guys to treat whatever dish I make as a typical side dish as you would with anything else. So if you're making barbecue chicken, you're like, oh, well, maybe a potato dish Chris made will rock with this. Now, you can also, now that we're doing this live thing here, when you see me post a recipe in the comment section, if you guys don't ask, I can't answer. Unless there's a question, I can't answer it. Post your questions down there, and in the next recipe chit chat that we do, we could discuss that. For instance, prime example, the lentils recipe I did on Monday, meat free Monday. The positive feedback from that is incredible. The whole meat free thing. Um, One, I used it with crusty bread, dip bread, eat. Two, I use it as a soup. And three, one, two, there's three ways. The third way, I put it on some rice, some steamed rice. So the same thing, I ate it with three different ways. So how, you know what I mean? Like, will I present it three different ways for you? So I do understand your concern. Please, Chris. Chris said that all my recipes pairs well with beer. Love that. Um, do ask questions. I'll be happy to address it. There's that question. My boy is asking how to not make pilau mushy with coconut milk. Two things. One, don't overstir it. Every time you stir that pot, it breaks down the rice and releases a lot of starch. The more starch in there, the more chance it's gonna go sticky and start to clump together and go mushy. Two, you gotta hold back. Don't only go in with coconut milk, water and milk. So you just get plain old tap water, or if you're using a chicken stock or something or vegetable stock, go half and half. Too much coconut milk. Coconut milk can be very rich and it tends to want to create that sort of mushy texture. So three things. One, the amount of liquid you put. You want to experiment with that. Two, don't overstir the rice. It will break it up and cause starch to release. And three, go half and half coconut milk, water kind of thing. And you should be fine. Also, once you start cutting back on the water, you want a lid that goes on and sort of steam cooks the rice in the pilau as well. I am team grainy pilau, and my daughters, their team wet pilau. So there's always a fight up here what the end product is gonna be when I'm done. That's why they always say I can't make a pilau like grandma. Yeah, but it's still eating my food though. Why did I go by grandma? Has the shrimp the other day instead of crab? What was that? I'm not sure what you're asking, Alicia. Alicia Dishman is asking about a crab and shrimp. I'm not sure. Um, Nadine, good night. How you doing? One more time, if you guys don't mind, hit the thumbs up there. That'd be greatly appreciated. One more time, giveaway number one. You gotta leave a comment. If you hit the thumbs up, love you for that. Giveaway number two, brunches. The two of last week's winners are, yes, Team Greeny Pilau indeed. Tashelle Clark and Sheldon Jordan. I need you guys to contact me ASAP. You have until Sunday at midday. I sounding like I'm selling something here, boy. Everyone's good, Nadine. Here we go. I'm having a hard time seeing the comments that's going by because it's going by relatively fast, and I don't know if my laptop is lagging. Um, Anyways, friends, I am going to shut things down tonight. I really appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. We've got a basketball game going on right now. I should be in front of the television watching that, but um, someone is asking for chicken patty recipe. I've got a beef patty recipe coming up. The chicken patty will be done a little bit later on. To be honest with you, I'm a huge fan of chicken patty. The when I go on the road, chicken patty all the way. Um, Go Raptors! You better believe that. You know what I mean? There. Good night. Morby, still love that name, you know. Kim, nice. Gonna bake some. Word, eh? Hey, Kimberly, Phyllis, shrimp colony using baby is how can I purchase a cooking swizzle? I've looked on the web. Every time I use that old school wooden swizzle stick that I have, you won't believe the amount of people request, Chris, where do you get that? Chris, can I buy one off you? I don't sell. Maybe later on. I have explored doing the whole online store thing, but it's a lot of work, too much work involved because the audience I have is so big. It can be a bit demanding. I'm not complaining, though. I don't get tired. Um, Someone is asking for stewed pig feet. Love it. Soon. The swizzle stick. I got that 25 years ago, I think. My mom brought that up from Trinidad for me. I would think so, yeah. I really don't know where to tell you. You can get it. Try West Indian grocery stores, maybe, if you have one in your area. We've got Johnson from Wichita, Kansas. I used to work with a fulfillment company out of Wichita, Kansas. They used to drop ship. I've been doing this online thing for a long time now, my friends. The food thing is secondary. My day job is internet marketing consulting. I've been working with some of the big players in the industry for a long time now. I've been doing that for about 21 years now. There are a couple sauce recipes on the website. One with chicken foot, one with pig feet. You gotta check it out. Really nice. But anyways, friends, I'm going to take off here tonight. I'm gonna go make myself a cup of tea, relax for a twos, put on the Raptors game, and then I haven't posted a new recipe on Caribbean Pot for the month of May. We're into day 3, so hopefully I can do that tomorrow morning. Guys, always a pleasure. Soldiers, always a pleasure having you all here with me. Rum punch and basketball, rum and ice. That's about it. Nobody ain't trying to disguise that rum. Do it raw, man. Alicia, good night. Everyone, good night. Thanks so much. I saw a message earlier go by there from Natasha. Natasha, I wasn't ignoring you. It's just that things were going so fast and so many questions. Natasha from Trini Cooking with Natasha was on tonight. Always a pleasure to have you here, Natasha. Friends, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Make it a great weekend. And if you're living in North America, it is time to get into your garden. It's nice outside now. I highly encourage you guys to plant your food. If you need help, if you want a video on tips, and we want to do a live chat with tips and stuff like that as far as gardening is concerned, I love gardening and I love sharing what I know. Make it a great evening, guys. Thanks a lot. Hit that thumbs up, man. And remember to leave a comment to enter your name, eh? Adios.